Holy shit! I have a 2-year-old echo over there, sorry. Charlie Sheen is officially being accused of sodomizing Corey Haim. And Satcha Seeker, if that's how you say it, don't think I haven't noticed you calling this up the whole time, so I think you might have called it. Good job. HIV, Charlie Sheen raped 13-year-old Corey Haim. Shocking claim, dying child star named monster who assaulted him on Lucasfilm. National Enquirer. Now, some people may discredit the National Enquirer, but look what Corey Feldmans said 2 weeks ago.
I know of a friend of mine that actually went and spoke to a reporter and gave all the information, and they were, the day before I launched my campaign, they were supposed to put out a story in the Enquirer, and they came to me for a comment, and I said no comment. Let them tell their story.
HIV-infected Charlie Sheen is finally being unmasked as the National Enquirer as a twisted child molester. The ruthless adult rapist who child star Corey Haim said sodomized him and pushed him down a drug-fueled path to an early grave. What's more, the Enquirer's 5-year probe into Haim's tragic and untimely death at age 38 also unearthed other disturbing accounts of Sheen preying on more children connected to the 1986 film Lucas, when the predator 19 sexually abused then 13-year-old Haim. Haim told me he had sex with Sheen when they filmed Lucas. Dominic Brascia, a former actor and close friend of the Lost Boys legend, exclusively told The Enquirer.
Me and Charlie Sheen are sitting there before Charlie Sheen was a big star, and I'm telling Charlie Sheen, listen, Charlie, me and Stephen Bale are going to be producing movies. So if you see anything in Dramalog or the Variety, you call, because me and Stephen want to put you in a movie. And that was Charlie Sheen.
This before he had done anything.
This is before he did anything.
Absolutely.
What a nice guy I am.
Yeah.
Now let me get this straight. I don't personally believe that Dominic Brascia is innocent. I'm just saying. Watch my last video. He told me they smoked pot and had sex. He said they had anal sex. Haim said after it happened, Sheen became very cold and rejected him.
I think I know why you're doing this.
No. You can't talk to me.
Brascia is one of more than 100 people spread across 10 states contacted by the Enquirer as part of an exhaustive probe. His horrid account, after 30-plus years of self-imposed silence, matches those of dozens of other sources who told the Enquirer that Haim, named Sheen, now 52 and considered a pariah in Hollywood. Brascia's testimony is specifically backed by a longtime Sheen confidant, who told the Enquirer that Sheen had admitted to a liaison with Haim, but insisted it was consensual. A third individual, a convicted child sex offender, told us Haim revealed sordid details about the Sheen incident when they were together on Lost Boys. So Feldman wouldn't name names, but in 2011, when he was asked about Sheen, Feldman admitted, "I'm not a huge fan of Charlie Sheen, especially the way he's affected other people that I know." Tellingly, Feldman also said Haim fought for his entire life to recover from those early experiences and to get his life together. Also during the filming of Lucas, Sheen preyed on many female members of the 80s strong high school choir that acted as extras in Lucas. And just goes on him trying to like make out with them and, you know, be ridiculous.
I think they've done it.
Sounds like it. It sounds like Charlie was fucking everybody over there. Oddly enough, the same day that the National Enquirer comes out with this article, it's the same day that Corey Feldman posts an open letter to my friends in Hollywood and beyond from his Twitter. Now, it's long, but I'm only going to read something that stood out to me. Finally, we can discuss the security element. When I say I need protection, I'm not being paranoid or acting delusional. In fact, my concerns are quite valid. Point in case, after all the stories I've heard, including the recent release of information that Weinstein hired private spies to prevent this information from becoming public, there has never been a report that he actually threatened many of his accusers with murder. Let me be very clear. The man at the end of this breadcrumb trail, the coveted name A-lister everybody wants to know about, has and does continue to threaten his victims with death. It's actually his go-to statement. Anybody that knows who I'm talking about can find multiple court records in which defendants have claimed that they have feared for their safety after confronting him. Now, that would never be Charlie Sheen. He would never do that.
The outspoken actor has hit out at porn stars Jamie Langford and Jana Jordan for trying to rack up huge bills on his credit cards. Charlie has wished death on the two after claiming they tried to scam him out of money. He released a statement to TMZ saying, quote, "With violent hatred, I hope you two charlatans fatally choke on a Vaughn's can of pressed turkey. It's sheenously poetic that on a day rooted in the celebration of gratitude, I can dance joyously on the graves of your napalm charred corpses as I revel in the absolute and perfect reality of your swift and perfect disposal."
Charlie Sheen's in some trouble again. There is a police report that was filed against him for a death threat that he allegedly sent to some guy. How do I explain the guy? Damn it. There was some random guy that we really don't know what he is or why he was there. They have some sort of business deal that goes bad, and they get in a fight.
What kind of business deal?
I don't know. Charlie Sheen allegedly sends a text to a third party who's a female that they both are acquainted with. Allegedly, Charlie says to the woman, "I'm gonna blow his head off with my Super 90. Super 90 is like a semi-automatic shotgun, like sick gun.
On Christmas morning in Aspen, Colorado, Charlie Sheen was arrested after his wife, Brooke, called 911 saying that he had threatened her with a knife.
Here's a little bit from Denise Richards' testimony.
I told him that I discovered some pornography websites that he belonged to, which I found very disturbing. Websites which promoted very young girls who looked underage to me with pigtails, braces, and no pubic hair, performing oral sex with each other. I also told him about other websites I discovered that he accessed involving gay pornography, also involving very young men who also did not look like adults. I also discovered that the respondent belonged to several sex search type sites which he looked for women to have sex with. The picture he used for his profile was his erect penis. When I confronted the respondent with this information, he did not deny it. I told him that as a mother, I found this information very disturbing because we had 2 young daughters and that I believed he had a serious problem which he needed to deal with and that he should not be around our children. At that point, I asked him if he had taken an AIDS test. He said he did. I asked to see the results and he told me to go fuck myself. I later had an AIDS test which he was upset about because the paparazzi found out about my taking this test and took pictures. The respondent blamed me rather than taking any responsibility for his actions. He told me that I was a prude and I was overreacting. He reiterated that there was nothing wrong with the sites that he was accessing and I needed to turn my head and ignore it. The respondent then told me to go fuck myself and turned around and stormed out of the house. I proceeded to follow him to his car. He opened the car door to get in but remained standing next to the car. I again tried to speak to him. I told him I was very concerned about his behavior. I told him if he continued his lifestyle, he would affect his relationship with the girls. He became very angry and told me that this was my last warning, and if I revealed anything about his lifestyle, you won't lay your head down at night. I understood this to mean that he would kill me. He then hit my right wrist with his arm and shoved me in the stomach area with both his hands and got in his car and left.
And a little bit of Jenny McCarthy.
But the thing that I think also in the acting world is quite fascinating, before we do a job, we have to sign a piece of paper that says, do you have cold sores? You know, you have to sign a release that says, yes, I have cold sores, and you have to show the medication. So for years, as I sit here with one on my face, for years, I've signed this piece of paper. Now, being on 2.5 Men myself and being on the show, I feel like, and playing a love interest, you would think that there would be some type of, I don't want to say, not criminal issue, but I don't even know how to feel about that. I'm like, wait a second. If I have to be upfront about a herpes, how could you not be upfront about HIV? But you know what I mean? Like, I look back and I'm like, okay, that would have been some valuable information. Look how many people have played his love interest on the show. I mean, not that you can obviously get it through kissing, but still. So the fact that, you know, playing even his love interest on the show back in the day, I go like, ugh, that's not fair and scary.
Look, yours seems to be growing even now.
hell it is.
It is, look!
Hey, look, he's getting a hard on! Hey, yeah, he is. I told nobody but over to pick up the soap.
Oh, they say physical violence is an expression of sexual feeling.
What is this, a fucking prison shower scene? Fucking stoned.
All I want is for people to open their eyes and see the light. That's it. This is about good versus evil.